Nintendo, the company that gave us the wonderful childhood memories of a plumber with an incredible vertical leap, a simp with a sword, and let's not forget the utter train wreck that was the Wii U. Like many others, I was a wide-eyed optimist when the Wii U launched. After all, the original Wii was a phenomenon. Motion controls that got your nan bowling in the living room, a library stacked with bangers like Super Mario Galaxy, and even a decent virtual console library. Then the Wii U arrived like a cold cup of tea, confusing, underwhelming, and slightly depressing. And now, with the Nintendo Switch 2 on the horizon, I can't help but feel we're being set up for another round of the same old disappointment. Let's start with what we know. The screen is bigger. The Joy-Cons are redesigned, again, and apparently it's backwards compatible with Switch 1 games. Sounds great, right? But we've been burned before by Nintendo's promises. Remember when they marketed the Wii U as a console that would revolutionize gaming just like the Wii? And instead we got a giant plastic gamepad that looked like a rejected Fisher-Price prototype and maybe a year of decent first-party support before the tumbleweeds rolled in. But hey, maybe Nintendo's learned their lesson. Let's hope so. Because if there's one thing Nintendo loves more than innovation, it's hubris. Remember their brilliant moves in the past, like the Virtual Boy, which redefined how people think about nausea? And then there was the eShop that was slow, clunky, and where games that were decades old were listed at near full price. Oh, you want Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze? That'll be $60 despite the fact that it was $50 on the Wii U. The Switch 2 already feels like it's leaning into classic Nintendo behavior. Bigger screen? Great, but is that going to make the sequel to Tears of the Kingdom look better? Or are we just going to see the same but slightly upgraded visuals while the battery life tanks harder than Ubisoft's stock? And what about those new Joy-Cons? They seem to have replaced the sliding rail, but what are the chances that the controllers will still drift after 6 months and Nintendo will continue to pretend that that's just normal wear and tear? And let's not forget Nintendo's favorite pastime, kicking us in the wallet. They're the company that refuses to give us a proper virtual console anymore, instead insisting we rent old games through their Nintendo Switch Online expansion pass. Wanna play Ocarina of Time? That'll be $50 a year, thanks. Oh, and don't get too attached to that digital library. By the time Switch 2.5 OLED rolls out in 5 years, they'll retire it and make you buy Super Mario 64 again at full price, now with enhanced shadows or something equally trivial. Echu, Sony? The lack of information about the Switch 2 launch games doesn't help. Are they taking a page out of Sony's book? I mean, they've teased a new Mario Kart, but will it actually be available at launch? Or are we looking at another scenario like the Wii U, where Mario Kart 8 showed up 18 months late, long after everyone had already written the console's obituary? Without a killer app on day one, the Switch 2 risks the same fate, gathering dust while early adopters slowly realize they've been sold another undercooked gimmick. Let's talk about innovation for a second. Nintendo loves to innovate, but their innovations often feel like solutions to problems that no one had. Did anyone really ask for a second screen on the Wii U? Or cardboard accessories for the Switch? Labo, anyone? I wouldn't be surprised if the Switch 2 comes with a revolutionary new feature, like a solar-powered dock that only works in direct sunlight if you live close to the equator, because that's just the kind of bizarre, out-of-touch decision-making we've come to expect from them. I'd like to know what the Switch 2's gimmick is, and are gamers going to like it? The first Switch delivered on its promise of portable console gaming in spades, and is about to outsell the freaking PS2. Its games are beloved worldwide across all audiences, so I want to be wrong. I want the Switch 2 to blow us away. I want it to launch with a stellar lineup of games, a robust online service, and hardware that doesn't feel like it's held together by blue tack and a prayer. But based on Nintendo's track record, I'm not holding my breath. After all, this is the same company that released Skyward Sword HD for $60 and called it a favor to the fans. So here's my take. If you're considering buying a Switch 2, maybe wait a year or two after release, see if Nintendo can actually deliver on their promises as well as they did with your existing Switch, and if not, well, at least you'll have saved yourself the pain of reliving the Wii U era, a time when Nintendo proved that even the most beloved gaming company can trip over its own ego. Thanks for watching Toast Professional Gaming, where our opinions are as subjective as a toddler's restaurant review. Everything's either the best thing ever or absolute rubbish. In the meantime, happy gaming!